A big applause for Dwin.
Hi, thank you for having us again. Is- uh, just a second. Ready? Okay. This is a black box right there where we get our feedback later on. So we are doing. Doing is the fastest way to share and to remember your daily activities. We found a really huge problem. The problem is here on Twitter. We have 765 followers. What does that mean? This means that we have 765 tweets per day at least, or at least twice as that. And all kinds of information, from web links, from photograph, from thoughts, all kinds of information here. So I'm from Venezuela, and when I came to Chile 3 years ago, I was looking for people to play soccer. This is a country filled with people that love soccer, and I couldn't find it. And even though I'm capable in computing, I couldn't find people that actually was playing soccer. It's quite different to be talking about something than actually be doing something. So I went to Instagram to try to find people that actually took pictures of them playing, and I found this. I found people trying to relate and to organize their content, trying to tell what they were doing. And we found a question here. How can we organize our content and connect with people at the same time? We went over and over trying to solve this problem. And we think we got it. We got it through activities. We're going to check in on an activity, and we're going to provide, as a platform, we're going to provide the activities, and you're going to check in on that. We're going to take care of all the hashtags related to this activity, all the possibilities on this activity for you to check in. And then you can add your personal information, like photos, videos, messages, and your locations. Here, we're seeing an example, me checking in on an activity, for example, bicycling. I'm going to tap on that. I've done it before. And then I'm going to add my personal information, like photos, videos, messages, locations, and even the weather sometime. Then on my profile, I can see a timeline of all my activities, the times I've done it, the information when I did it, and at the same time, I'm joining a cloud with people doing the same thing. And then I can see all the people in my city that are currently doing activities as I did. That's it. We're doing it, and we believe that only action truly speaks.
So what will motivate the first user to use your product?
The first thing we found on our alpha stage, we found that people was really into a type of doing. We think there are three worlds of doings. One of fitness, people trying to exercise and to keep track of that. And the second one, leisure. People having fun, a party, finding people to have a drink, and that kind of stuff.
So if you have nobody on your network, though, if no one else is using it, I'm the first user,
Yeah.
why is it interesting to me to use it?
For organize your content.
So to organize my content?
Yeah.
So but you don't really talk about that as a problem to solve, right?
Yeah, we're talking about right here.
Because you talked about coming to a new city and trying to find people who play football or whatever,
that was
which is an
first-
interesting use case. But I'm not necessarily convinced that on day one this is going to be something of high value.
That's true.
For the first X number of users.
Yeah, we're talking about here where the idea came from. That was the first approach to the problem, and then we found out a huge pile of problem. We were solving this too.
So let's say I just came to Chile from Poland. I want to play soccer, right?
Yeah.
So how is that better from me just going out and just looking at a guys playing soccer down the street on the other side? Like, why would I use the app? Like, like I can get out and see the people across the street. I would never know that you have an application doing like that.
Yeah, for example, you can drive all over the city, and then you can find people, but it's really hard for you to find people nearby you, and it's really hard for people to find activities that are not actually in a place, or in a restaurant, or in a park. For example, in a park, there are several activities. There are bicycling, there are skating, there are soccer, there are basketball, and there even can be baseball. And it's really hard for you to find the persons that actually does that.
Right. So I think then you can think a little bit about the example you used during the presentation, because I think it's not really convincing, right?
All right.
Like you can see people playing soccer around. Maybe it's about the example.
Okay, thank you. Here's another problem.
So this is a comment for all the other presenters who are going to come after you. But this presentation is in terms of the visuals, is quite good. You know, you tell the story very, it flows well. The graphics work on this screen. They help you build the story. Your stage presence is good.
Thank you.
You're not rushed, and and yet you finish on time. The missing thing for me is like I think it goes to his question as well, is like I don't really, what's missing is the why. You know, it's like why do I want to do this? Why do I want to change my habits as a consumer on social media to do this? It's just kind of that little extra that's missing of like, oh yeah, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
But the presentation itself is very tight.
Thank you, thank you. To explain a little about that, I have a hidden screen. We found this is a big problem. This is the content on the web, right? We have web links, we have locations, we have messages, we have videos, and we have photographs, right? We have we think there are two main contents: publishing content and personal content, right? And we have two main players combining these two content. The main issue is that how can we scroll this down? There's a second generation. We think they are focusing on mainly one content to solve that. We have Instagram focusing on photos. We have WhatsApp focusing only on messages, because the infoxication, as we call it, is really huge. So we're focusing only on activities, only on things you are doing, only not talking about something, but actually doing something, checking in on something you are actually doing. So that's our big challenge to solve.
I have a question to piggyback off that one.
Right.
So in an ideal scenario,
Yeah.
are you asking users to give up Facebook and Twitter and all of these other locations? Like, are you saying that I only need this one app, and yes, I can have, logins, et cetera, on all these other sites, but at the end of the day, I only need to go to one place to do everything?
Actually, we think we are an alternative for a problem. For example, Twitter works great for high impact news. For example, there is an earthquake. Twitter is the best platform to do that. But to person, peer-to-peer, is really bad, because the 765 following, I mean, 700, this is an average of people, 765 following people. We have people following 2,000 people. It's insane, the amount of information. But a high level, a high impact news, Twitter is the best. But for person-to-person, it's not good. So we are telling people that this is the place for you to talk to people. That's it. Facebook is really huge.
So I'm not going to stop using Twitter, although this will pull in and push out Twitter content. So I'm making the case that this seems like it's just one more thing that I have to download and check.
You can actually, it depends on the use. For example, if you are a reporter, Twitter is the best. But if you actually want to talk about your friends, actually to talk about your family, actually to talk about the people that you actually know, this is the best platform, we think.
So here's a theme that you're hearing, right, from everybody, which is a doubt about, is it going to be used at the end of the day? And this is for everybody in the audience too. If you have questions, people ask you, will this really work? Why will people use it? Really have some doubts about it? The best answer is what? What would you say is the best answer for that?
The best answer is our use case. Our use case, I think, is...
Nope. Users. If you tell me I have 1 million users, you've blown my question out of the water, right? Because then I can say, wow, I had no idea people actually wanted to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I ask you, who's doing it? Versus we're having a debate. And this is opinion. We're talking about opinion at the end of the day.
That's right.
Right? And my opinion too. And I want to be proven wrong by you, because I want you to be successful, right? So how many users do you have?
We have 100 right now.
How many?
100.
100. And how much use are they using the system? How much?
All day long.
Yeah, I want a number. Give me a number.
A number? A number of
How many tags have they done? How many photos have they done? How many check-ins have they done?
Per people?
Yeah.
Right now we are testing giving a free, for example, he giving unlimited joins, and we are testing. We providing the joins. So let me explain.
So wait, give me a number though for before you
Before
you explain.
say I haven't 10, 20,
10,
and
20,
the average is around 15
15
per person.
Okay, and then
But what we're trying to know is how many they're rate checking their activities.
okay, so we're gonna have to move on to the next one. I would encourage you to get more data on your users and talk about that. Right? Even if it's just 100, show me the graph on how they're spending time with you, how long they've been with you, what kind of repeat usage, how long it takes you to get new users, all the sort of basic things that you should consider. Show me that data next time.
Yeah. For example, let me explain a bit about that.
We gotta go. I will say you don't have anything about monetization in here, and you just said something about paying to check in or paying for.
We have
for
two
posts.
revenues. We have two revenue streams.
Don't want to go through it now. We gotta go, but make sure you cover that because I don't know how this would make money.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
First job. ¿Tú le vas a pasar la slide? Ella misma. A big applause for first job.
Hi, I'm Sarah with First Job. So you never forget your firsts. Your first kiss, your first hangover, your first job. Right now, students and graduates don't have a good way to connect with companies that will give them the best first job experience. So at First Job, our goal is to match graduates' goals with those of their future employer. We want to match graduates' dreams and passions with companies that share the same vision, so that your first job will be one you never forget. We create that magic formula that gives users a personalized experience. We take into account the experiences of global leaders, job descriptions from companies, and the personal needs of each user. The result, a personalized dashboard and timeline that helps show what makes you outstanding. On your dashboard, on your dashboard, you can upload photos and videos that show employers what projects you're working on, what ideas you have. You can upload badges that show employers what skills you've learned apart from just your college classes. You can look at job listings that are relevant to your interests, and the timeline helps you tell the story of how you got your first job. Our traction in 9 months with MVP, we've got more than 9,000 users signed up on our database, more than 15,000 followers on social networks, and with 6 clients, we've got more than $22,000 in sales. Our future, we want to have more than 500,000 applicants, more than 1 million followers, and a total market of $250,000. Our dream, to be the greatest marketplace for recent graduates worldwide. Here's our crazy team. And we're First Job, the new standard for the first job search.
Great pivoting, great progress, great adjustment. Seriously, you've done a great job in taking the feedback that we're giving you, and you're telling a much more compelling story. It connects. We'll have other questions, but where you are right now, just great work.
Great, thank you.
So yeah, I mean we've heard you guys pitch I guess 3 times now between the two of you, 3 or 4 times, and again huge pivot, really great improvements. My only piece of feedback is really on the presentation. I know that we've been here for a few days. You guys know that the screen has weird colors. Let's think about those as we make small edits moving forward, just because I'm understanding everything you're saying, but I want to be able to read it clearly, and just the color contrast is throwing me a little bit off. So very nitpicky, but it's a good piece of advice to keep that in mind, that it's a little bit hard to read. Let's think about font size, but also the color.
Big fonts, big letters, good contrast. The other thing on the presentation, don't read your slides. Because you're looking at the screen down here instead of looking at us, and you're reading what's on the slide, which isn't adding any value to the slide. We can read.
Yeah.
So well done. What I was just thinking is that you guys showing where you are right now and where you want to go. I think what I love to see maybe a little bit, if you think about it, is just how are you going to get there, and also like what's your ask, like what do you need, or maybe what you're looking for in the final pitch, right? Like which is the ask.
Latam Review. Big applause for Latam Review.
Hello everyone, my name is Angelo, a founder of Latam Review. Have you ever bought a product and hated it? What did you do next time? You probably looked online, didn't you? So, let me ask you one more thing. Did you find everything you needed to know about the product in one place? Okay, more bad news for you guys. We're in Latin America, right? And the most current information is always in English. So, that's it. True story. We are not very good English speakers here in Latin America. So you might be wondering, why brands don't help me in this process? That's simple, because brands don't know you. Brands don't know who is buying and why he's buying. So, Latam Review is a platform where you can find neutral reviews written by experts in every category that work with us, plus real buyers' experience. And that you can access this information when you need it. That is, when you're trying to make a purchase decision. How do we do this? We have an experts community around Latin America. We now have over 30 of them. Plus that this person starts the conversation about products, and then we have the interaction of the community in these 4 categories, generating a lot of information. So what can we do with all of this information? For instance, we can give you the information you need to make a decision both online and offline. Online, when you're looking at our platform for the reviews, and also offline when you are, I don't know, in the store, and you can scan this QR code with your smartphone and access all of this information through your smartphone. Also, how can we help brands? We can help brands by all of this information generated by our users and experts, and try and help them to understand how does the consumer actually buys. What does he likes, with what other products is he comparing, what he doesn't like, what he would like to improve, where are they and who are they. Today we have almost ready beta platform with a subscribed list of 2,500 people for our launch. We have agreements with brands like BMW and Honda that want to work with us, and also media agencies interested in our services. This is our team. We have the skills to develop the platform. We have previous experience in startups, and some of us have previous experience in mass media and communications. So that's Latam Review. Let's not forget, the next time you need to buy something online, go to latamreview.com and simply scan the QR code in the shelf. Thank you.
I have a question. Can you go back, I think maybe 2 slides? Let's go back. Okay, so agreements with brands. What are your agreements with brands right now? What does that mean?
Right now, we are working in the content generation, so we can have...
You're working on the content generation?
With our experts, like those experts. Around Latin America, we have people in until today, 6 countries, Ecuador, Argentina, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, etc., and Chile, obviously, working in the different categories we work. That's motorsports related to the
So
automotive
what are
industry.
the agreements? I want to know what the agreements are.
The agreements are related to the access to the products. Like, I don't know, in the case of BMW, we have full access to their cars. So we can make a review of them.
So you are working, so you've had communication, so I understand clearly.
Okay.
You've already spoken with BMW
Yes.
to get access to test driving all of their cars.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also with Honda.
Okay.
Yeah, you can visit us at dev.latamreview.com. It's on progress, but so you can see it.
Okay. I really like the QR code integration. I think that's a great way to look at what some brands and some companies have done in the US. Again, I don't know market penetration here. If we look at global scale, it's definitely, it's pretty high. So I thought that was a good tweak, which I know you didn't have yesterday.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's joke.